Yo, what's poppin', everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Zach Lesage here. Today we are getting an early start on our Twilight Masquerade content. That being said, we're going to be featuring Dragapult EX into our video today. Dragapult EX has been one of the more hyped cards coming out from it. I didn't necessarily see the hype at first, but when I looked at Drakloak being able to draw some cards every single turn, I certainly think that there's an opportunity there to see some success. That being said, we're covering it in our channel because a lot of our pre-rotation format extended over to our post-rotation format. So I don't know if all y'all want to watch another Charizard or just plain Charizard or a plain Chen Pao video again. We're bringing the people what they want, and that's new content, the most exciting content, and some of the best content available in the game. We're going to be covering over the deck list, the strategy, and more in this video, and we're probably going to have some gameplay videos coming up on the channel real soon. I hope that you all enjoy this video. Let's jump into the list. So here we have it. We have the Dragapult EX with Charizard EX deck list. Now, this deck list is something that I didn't expect that was going to come together. But as I think about it a little bit more, the natural pairing of Fire-type Pokemon or Fire-type energy cards are going to happen. And in this case, Charizard EX can accelerate fire energies, allowing Dragapult EX to be a capable attacker, doing 200 damage with its Phantom Dive attack, and placing 6 damage counters on your opponent's bench Pokemon wherever you like. This can often be better than Charizard's own attack, because you're able to do the 200 damage, 2-shot most things, and then place the damage counters to draw extra prize cards or set up a multi-prize card turn. Dragapult EX wasn't that exciting to me at first, but really where the card comes in is its previous form, Drakloak. So it has its ability that says once during your turn, you look at the top 2 cards, put one of them into your hand, put the other on the bottom of your deck. So we have a consistent draw engine, allowing us to kind of have a built-in Pidgeot as if Pidgeot was a better attacker than it already was. Sure, we don't get that consistent search of being able to search for whatever we want, but drawing through your deck will eventually get you there. There's a lot of really cool things that we could go through when it comes to playing a deck list like this. And there's a lot of new cards, like the new Tatsugiri, that allows you to look at the top 6 cards, find a supporter. However, I do want to kind of explain each card in detail, since a lot of these cards are completely new to this deck. So if you want, take a screenshot of this deck the way it is right now. Absolutely fantastic list. Great starting point for our Twilight Masquerade formats. And we're going to be going over everything available in the next portion of this video. In the description, there is going to be a copy and pastable version of this list if you do want to play any games on any of the tabletop sims available. If you haven't already, give this video a like, share, subscribe to the channel, and if you need any of the cards for this deck, check out Kayfabe Cards for pre-orders, and PTCGL Store is going to have some Twilight Masquerade codes up soon. Kicking things off, we got to start off somewhere, and we're going to start off with the first Pokemon that we're going to have to evolve into. That is Dreepy. Now, Dreepy is not really showing us too much, but it is searchable by Buddy-Buddy Poffin, and it is one of those Pokemon that we have to evolve into Drakloak. We currently have a 4/4 line in this deck. And that's because Drakloak is one of our draw engines. Using its ability, Renaissance Raid, which might change once we get the official English translation. By the way, shout out to JustinBasil.com for providing all these early translations. I always use that website. Being able to look at the top 2 cards of your deck, putting one of them in your hand, putting the other on the bottom of your deck, is going to allow us to get out the cards that we need to make this deck roll. Cards such as Rare Candy, Charizard, we could draw into those and really piece things together nicely. So having a new way to draw cards, which I think Drakloak will see a lot of success in these decks, is really going to allow us to play around with things. Evolving eventually into Dragapult EX, a card that I didn't really think much of, but we are a 320 HP Pokemon that has no weakness, can attack for a single energy if we ever miss the second energy, but we could do 206 damage counters on our opponent's bench Pokemon in any way we like. Setting up knockouts, having a 200 knocking out, like maybe we can knock out a barrel by putting 6 on it again, 200 knocking out a Charizard, knocking out a Charizard again. We have some cool opportunities here, and some spread decks have seen success before. 1 retreat cost, and the thing that I find that's really cool about this list is we can accelerate the energies with Charizard EX. So that's really where the Charizard EX portion of this deck is going to come into, where we're going to go a fire on a Dragapult, fire on a Drakloak, and a Fire on a Charizard EX, allowing us to have a kind of three-prong approach at the game. And we're able to slap on a Psychic that we could search through our deck with Earthen Vessel, or just naturally have in our hands, or grab with Forest Seal Stone if you really need to, and start spreading damage. Since most Pokemon are not going to be one-shotting a Pokemon without weakness, and it's going to be hard in the early game to do 320 damage, we are going to be in the case where we have Scoop Up Cyclone as our main A-Spec. We can just lift that Dragapult EX, all cards attached to it, back to our hand, rinse and repeat. So Scoop Up Cyclone, absolutely a fantastic card. Could I see something like Silene going into this deck so that we could use Scoop Up Cyclone more than once? Absolutely. Again, this is a very early build of the deck, so I do want to point it out there that we have opportunities to do a lot of things. So Scoop Up Cyclone really allowing us to kind of have a defensive build of this deck. Charizard EX is also a fine attacker in its own, and as the game progresses, we might find ourselves using Burning Darkness to get a knockout, or if we're playing against a deck that's weak against us, like Gardevoir EX, Charizard EX can really get that huge knockout that we want. Rotom is going to give us some opportunities to draw some extra cards, and it's also a good Forest Seal Stone Vessel. Same thing, Lumineon gives us an opportunity for us to go Lumineon, search for an Arven, search out whatever we want, we're ready to go. One of the coolest cards that I like in this deck is Tatsugiri. Now, Tatsugiri is a new consistency card, and there's also a sick alt-art version of this deck as well, or alt-art version of this card as well. You have to look at the top 6 cards as long as you're in the active spot, and you can grab a supporter card you find there. So we can kind of pivot in between Tatsugiri, putting a rescue board on it, and being able to move in and out of the active spot to have that turn 1 Arven, that mid-game boss's orders for the win, whatever we really need. Our supporter line is going to be very similar to a Charizard deck, having Arven that can grab out a variety of our trainer cards like Rare Candy. We only have 3 of the Rare Candies because we have a heavy build on the Dreepy Drakloaks, and of course we only need to really evolve into a Charizard EX out of nowhere. 3 should be suffice for now. Furthermore, we have access to boss to bring up whatever we want. Maybe we can create some sneaky situations with our Dragapult EX damage. And Iono is a really good card just for us to refresh our hand, maybe disrupt our opponent. One card that you might not necessarily see too often, and I certainly didn't have in my standard playables, is Lance from the Silver Tempest sets. Lance is going to allow us to search for up to 3 Dragon Pokemon and put them into our hand. So whether we play it turn 1 and get out some Dreepies, or we play it out in the mid-game to get out some Drakaloaks, maybe a Dragapult EX, there's certainly some opportunities there. We have some basic staple trainers, such as Ultra Balls, Buddy Poffins, Nest Balls, and those are really going to allow us to get our Pokemon out whenever we really want. Super Rod, in case anything gets knocked out, or we have to discard something with Ultra Ball, or something, etc. And Counter Catcher is going to really allow us, if we get behind and we're spreading some damage counters, to bring up the right Pokemon. Earthen Vessel is going to allow us to search out those limited psychic energies that we have in this deck. And Enhanced Hammer does allow us to shut off Mist Energy, discarding it entirely, being able to now spread damage counters however we like. Technical Machine Evolution is searchable by Arven, allowing us to have a turn 1 evolving into a Charmeleon, evolving into double Drakaloak, and drawing into some of those cards we want with that ability. And really our energy lineup is slim, but that's what Charizard decks have really been going towards, and we really don't need too many energies to make this happen. Dragapult EX looks like it's going to be an interesting deck at the very least, and so far it's been winning City League after City League after City League in Japan and remaining steady. Is this deck going to be the best deck available in formats? We're going to have to find out soon, but I do recommend picking up Dragapult EX, so once they come out, by all means, check out Kayfabe Cards for their pre-orders of Twilight Masquerade, or head to your local game store and tell them that Zach Lesage sent you. I'm sure they'll know what's up. Let me close things out with this deck, and I'm hoping that we can get some gameplay going on in the channel later this week. We'll have to see with the busy regional schedule while preparing for current standard format. But right now, this is what we got going on for Dragapults. And that's what we got going on for this video today. There's a lot of different ways to play Dragapult EX, whether it's a Lost Stone box deck, maybe a Pidgeot EX deck. Right now, I think that this might be the better way because Charizard is also very good. When you combine 2 very good cards, should be relatively consistent. I like it. You know what I'm saying? It can cover Charizard's weakness. It's an interesting concept, at least, and I think it's worthwhile to experiment. Dragapult is a card that early in my exploring through the Twilight Masquerade set that I was like, yeah, this card seems mid. Japan's proving otherwise. I'm willing to admit where I'm wrong. So pick up your Dragapults once you get a chance. I think they're going to be fantastic. And if you're trying to upgrade your gameplay, check out the Shuffle Squad website. We have a lot of really cool things on there, such as our ability to use markers. So if those are available in stock right now, fingers crossed that we're selling them. It's one of those things that I use at all my tournaments, and they're absolutely fantastic. Also, if you're looking to get any coaching in the near future, up your game, hit me up on metafy.gg/@ZachLasage. I'd love to help you out there. I got a lot of stuff going on, getting prepared for a lot of tournaments, getting prepared for a lot of new sets. So I hope that you would continue to enjoy the content on the channel, and you're just enjoying everything in general. So that being said, I'll catch up with all y'all later. Peace out and have a great one. Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.